Alright, so I went ahead and poured it on. I'm just kind of separating it out. Just kind of separating it out and trying to give it kind of a little layer. Parchment paper isn't straight. I'm just going to shove it up. There we go. Straighten it out myself. Putting them in the edges, trying to make kind of a layer. You know, it's not specific where you have to do it this way. You know, this is just quick Sunday dinner. We're not eating out. We're saving money. Instead of using this money to give to McDonald's, a lot of times what we do is we save our money up and we can go on a trip. Instead of giving the money to the companies that aren't doing anything good for our health, we put it aside for ourselves. So now what I'm going to do is put this aside, and I'm going to do the dark meat now. Let me wipe my hands off. I've got barbecue stuff all over them. Alright, and I'm going to open up the dark meat now. Pour it on in. And the dark meat's already pretty much broken it up. It's already broken up because when I gutted the turkey, you know, there's already, so I don't mind if there's big chunks of it. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to put the rest of the barbecue sauce on here. That just sucks. I wish eek. That sucks. I wish I had more. But me wishing don't mean nothing. Alright. So let me mix it on up. It just has a little bit of barbecue on it. Not a lot, but not a lot is better than nothing. So I'll move this over, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on in. Line that up a little bit. There we go. Give myself some room. Put this on in. Sorry if my hand's in the way. I apologize. Let me use this hand. So smooth it on out. Push this down a little bit so I can have a little bit more room for the dark meat. Our little one. And there we go. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put this inside of the oven, and we're going to go ahead and let it cook a little bit. Alright, it stopped venting. There isn't any more pressure in it. So what I'm going to do now is open it on up and check it out. Let's see if it's done. And it is completely done. You can't see it. It looked like it was still all together, see? But it's done. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take those things out that I used to separate the liquid so I could steam it. And I'm going to pour it in there with the liquid so that it's all finished. This is all completely thought out. So a good 5 minutes will do it. Well, for me, it's a good 5 minutes. It may be a little bit longer for you, or maybe even a little bit less. You can play around with it and you can be able to see. But this is just quick food that I didn't have to do a whole bunch of work to get done because I've already done that. I do big batches of it and freeze it. So that's done there. I'm going to go ahead and take that, again, take this thing right here off, both of those things out, and I'm just going to mix the juices with the kale. Alright, here's my quart of lentils. I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on in. And what I have in here, what it consists of, is you can see there's a lot of, there's not that much stock inside of it. I cooked this. Let me get the lid. Excuse me. Here's the lid here. I cooked the lentils with neck bone stock. And I put a little bit of onions in it, a little bit of garlic, and a little bit of bacon. And you see it doesn't have any liquid. I had put too much beans in it. I didn't know that it would take that much of the liquid from the beans. So you can use water, but of course I like to use my stock. And I only have a little bit of stock in here, like maybe 1/4 of a cup. But I'm going to put that on in there just so I can have some liquid in it. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on the stove. And I always cook it on high real quick because, you know, I'm always trying to rush to get it done. You can put it on medium. I'm not. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on high. And once it starts boiling, because all you got to do is just basically heat it up. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and let it cook for like maybe 1 minute at a boil, and just, you know, cut it down at that point once it's bubbling. And make sure you're stirring it because you want it to stick to your pan. I didn't put a lot of liquid in it, so it'll probably stick if I just let it stay on there. So go ahead and put it on the stove, let it cook for 1 minute when it starts boiling. And then after that, I'm put my cheese in it and it's done. Oh, remember I said I didn't put any salt in it? So I'm going to go ahead and put some salt in it now. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit into it. There we go. Give it a mix. And that's done. So I'm going to put that on the stove. Let's get ripping and alright. I don't know if you can see the steam coming out of it or not. But it's all done. Remember I told you it would break up. It's all broken up. Rice took no time to make. It would have been faster if I had thawed it out. But that's finished. I'm just going to go ahead and put the lid back on it. And this time I'll secure the lid onto it. But that's done. So I put it in there for 4 minutes after it thawed out. And that's as long as it took. So that's done. Can you see it bubbling? It's bubbling. And I'm cooking on high right now. So that's on. You can drain out more of the juice if you want to. I'd most of the time do it with my other beans. I'm taking off the stove because it's kind of popping right now. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 slices. I'm trying to cut back on the cheese. Normally I put 4 slices of cheese, but I'm trying to cut back. So instead of cutting back too much more, I'll just put 3 slices of cheese in it. And have it melt, and then I'm going to put it back on there and let it is Sunday. I do need to go grocery shopping. I checked to get more cheese. We don't have that much. And I know some of the time we want to put cheese on the side of the food. So I'm only going to put 2 slices of cheese on here. You work it out, right? So let me put that back on the stove. It should start popping again. Yep, there we go. It's popping. And I'm going to go ahead and stir at the cheese. So we can have at least a little bit, because I need to go shopping for more cheese. It's crazy. It's toward the end of the month. And I need to get more shopping done. That's done. Let me cut that off and take it off. I should have a lid over it, so I'm going to cover it with the lid, but this is done. This is done. The lentils. The beans. The lentils. Alright, so now I'm basically going to be waiting on the other stuff. Basically the cornbread and the turkey. The barbecue turkey. Take that off of there. But everything is pretty much done. That's what I'm saying. Calculate your time out so that it can really take you 20 minutes or 20 minutes to make versus. Alright, the cornbread's done. And I could be able to show you. You see how it just lifts off? It's hot. But it comes right on off. This is finished and ready to go. And I made a bunch of it because I'm going to, I do grab and go. So this cornbread will last us for about the week. We'll probably eat like maybe 1/4 of the cornbread. And then I can be able to have cornbread with soups or have it with dinners or whatever you want to eat it with. Okay, so that's done. So I went ahead and I put the the turkey was already in there with the cornbread. In there for around maybe 10 minutes or so. So what I'm doing now is I put it on broil, the chicken. I'm putting it on broil, and I'm going to let it broil for just a little bit because I want it to brown a little bit. And you can keep it in there to make the meat as crispy as you want to make it, or to get the color. I've let it brown so far for around 2 minutes. I think I'm going to give it maybe a minute and a half more. I could actually take it out now. It's fine. I don't have a lot of barbecue sauce on it, so it's slightly barbecue-y. But remember, it's a preference on how you want it. You can leave it in there for a little bit longer, but if you leave it in there too long, it'll start to get black on the meat, and eventually it'll burn, So make sure you're watching it while you have it on broil. I think this is good enough. Food's done. Alright, here's the food here. Let me push it back a little bit so you can see. But there's the food here. You can see there's the kale. Here's the chicken. This is what I was talking about as far as if you leave it in there a little bit longer, it'll turn brown. See the brown right there? I put some foil over the chicken because I don't want it to end up drying out. But here it is here. This is the white meat and this is the dark turkey. Here's the rice right here. It's nice and fluffy still. Here's the lentils here. Nice and good. And then I'm going to turn it over here just so you can see me take out the cornbread. All I did was I've cut it with my spatula, and I just want you to see how white parchment paper is what I live by now. Do you see that? It just came right on out. Perfect. See that? It's not sticking at all. So anyway, here's Sunday dinner. It took me around 35 minutes to make. I probably could have timed it better, or I could have maybe had it done in 25 minutes or so. But here's dinner. Nice, sweet, and we didn't eat out, and we're getting a lot of great food. Now before I go, on behalf of your friends, family, and loved ones, thank you. Thanks for all the hard work that you do. You could be spending your time doing so many other things, but instead you give your time caring about our health and what goes inside of our bodies and our mouths. We appreciate you, even though we don't tell you as much as we'd like to. Thank you. Take care.